G'day everybody, my name's Lukey and I'm a Streamaholic.
And g'day everybody, my name is The Warship and I'm a Streamaholic and we have a guest today, but hey, before we do that, you're watching Streamaholics. Cool, you're in front of that now, awesome, that's a good spot to be. Nice. Good Chippy, smart. Hey, there you go, haha, no one knows. It was never a thing at all. G'day. Hello, how are you guys going today? Welcome in, Matt from That Was Pro. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well. How are you guys going?
Yeah, good.
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good. Excited to have our first guest on the show, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm on it. That's a big deal.
Guest number one. Or one thing though, Lukey, can you take your hat off for a sec real quick? For the visual listeners. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
My
We
God.
both have the same haircut. Although mine's going to grow back.
Matt doesn't realise what he's got himself into here. Between two balds.
I should have left my toupee off.
Yeah, welcome in, guys. How has your week been? Have you been getting up to very much before we get into the nitty-gritty?
For me, it's been a pretty quiet week. I think the highlight would be I've got quite a backlog, as everyone does with their games, but I've just started playing Doom Eternal, and it is fantastic. I know I'm like years behind, but yeah, been pretty good.
Yeah, Doom Eternal. We love a bit of the old Doom Eternal. Absolutely quality game that is. And it's a really good addition to the series as well. It's not a departure. It's just over the top and crazy. What about you there, Lukey?
Myself, nothing games-wise related this week. I've just been doing a lot of technical stuff, but just as a little bit of a teaser, some people know and some people don't. There'll be a bit of a confession later on, and I'll tell you exactly what's been going on the last couple of nights. But I'll leave that for a little bit later in the show.
Oh, that actually relates to not just the last couple of nights. That relates to every podcast since you've been back, really. So yeah. Oh man, I'm not frustrated at all. It's fantastic. But yes, today we are doing our first sort of interview format show that is not just us talking rubbish for sometimes an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. Today we will be doing a bit of a chat with the software developer here, I suppose is the correct terminology, I would say, like someone who's been working on a really, really useful tool for streamers. And you know, as we are Streamaholics, one thing we like to do is highlight things that can help you guys and me and Luke and everyone else who's doing what we do here. So we felt that the first time that we would run any form of guest, it would probably be a really good idea to show off a guest who could benefit you guys. You know, you could see a bit of a benefit there. And one quick thing to that benefit as well, the website is thatwas.pro, and you'll find below on the picture in front of you there, you'll find a first month free with code GOA. And that's thank you to Matt. Obviously, we've had that arranged for a very, very long time, and it wasn't just done in the last 5 minutes. It's definitely been something we've been, really, really on top of. So, yeah, why don't you take us away for a bit there and tell us firstly a little bit about yourself and your journey leading into creating this tool.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for that introduction. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to talk about this, and I think this show it really is perfect platform to get the word out there. A bit of background is I'm a self-taught web developer, which I think is a similar kind of mindset that a lot of streamers are in as well. You're trying to just have a crack, and you've got all that imposter syndrome and self-doubt. But I've managed to get it's my career now as a web developer, so I've been able to build up my skills and very fortunate to be able to channel my knowledge into something that I love, which is video games. So I'm not a streamer myself, but I do enjoy watching streams, and in particular, I enjoy watching compilations on YouTube for Rainbow Six. That's like, I think everyone's got that game that they're obsessed with. So I've been playing that. Well, how long has it been out now? Like 7 years. And yeah, when I first started watching some people on YouTube play it and watching some streamers, my enjoyment of the game actually skyrocketed because, I mean, they were actually good at the game, and I'm still crap, but like I'm a little bit better than I was before I discovered them. And yeah, just like learning tactics and learning the way that people play. I wanted to find more streamers who were creating that kind of content. And this is like a subjective thing. I know not every streamer is making this exact type of content, but this is what I was looking for. And as I started looking into the world of Twitch and learning about what it was all about, I found that there's this discoverability problem that, I mean, for this show, I probably don't even need to go into the details of that, but it's really this problem of how to grow. You know, you can do your stream, but that doesn't guarantee success in any way. So how do you actually get your content out there in front of people, and yeah, build up that audience and build up that community and connection? So yeah, back to what I decided would be a potential solution was a website where people can upload their Rainbow Six clips. And then throughout the week, everyone would vote on what is good and what's not so good. And then it would like automatically build a montage every week and churn out like community highlights for Rainbow Six. And the idea was you would be able to discover people who made clips or content that you liked as a consumer. However, that didn't pan out for a number of reasons. I think I kind of had the same issue that a lot of streamers have, which is trying to grow a YouTube channel. But what I realized that I had built kind of unexpectedly was a video editor. So then I thought, well, I found that a lot of people actually did want to post to the site because they did want to try and grow their audience. Everyone's hungry for an opportunity to put their content out there. And what I saw happen was people would post content, and like to Twitter, for instance, obviously it's the most popular platform, maybe TikTok now, but they would post their content and even if it went viral, you didn't necessarily know who was behind the content once it got reshared, etc. And so that person who made the really good content wasn't really reaping all the rewards. So I thought, what you need is your own watermark in the corner, so that when the clip gets shared, you will see the Twitch channel that it's from. And so this is the kind of process I had where it was kind of this iterative idea of like, how can I make this better? How can I help streamers grow? And the situation I've ended up with now is a video editor, which is really, it's very streamlined. It's all web-based. And you can make your video that would be perfect for Twitter, which would be like, you know, the landscape horizontal kind of view. And very quickly in the app as well, you can draw a rectangle around your face cam, and it will reposition it, and it will make a portrait video as well. So
nice.
Yeah, so that means you'll be able to have your content, you know, in the right format for the right platform.
Yeah, you can repurpose it to somewhere else as well. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and then like the next kind of phase was this idea of you're starting to keep a catalog of all your clips that you're building over time. So I know a lot of streamers will have some kind of schedule where they stream for the day, then at night they'll do like their content, and then like rinse and repeat in an effort to grow their audience. So what this allows you to do is build up your own clip catalog. This is your personal catalog. This isn't something that other people are going to come and look at, but you can label it, you can title it, you can say what game it's from. And from there, like in the future, when you're looking for some more content, you can repost stuff from your catalog previously. So maybe, you know, maybe in one of the games you're playing, that there's a character that goes through a change or something, and then you quickly look through your catalog, you know, click the labels, and and then you will be able to find all the clips from that character for the future. Yeah. So. And following on from there, it's kind of like there's this journey of content, you know, there's like how do I get my clips into this catalog to build it, but also how do I get my clips out into the world? And so the next things that I'm building are kind of either side of the clip catalog. So being able to schedule posts that will automatically go to, you know, Twitter, TikTok, Reels, Shorts, all those portrait formats, being able to schedule them, and then also being able to see analytics in the app on how your content is performing, which you can, you know, you can use that data to maybe shape the kind of content that you're working on, shape the, or at least be informed on the times that seem to work well when you're posting. Yeah, so that's like the back end of this kind of pipe, and then the front end. This is something I'm pretty excited about, but it's very early days. But actually, it was talking to Shippy that we kind of came up with this idea, which was using the Stream Deck and having a button on your Stream Deck so that while you're on stream, click the button and your clip will just go into like an inbox section.
Yeah.
So then, really trying to speed up this process, because I think, I'm sure you've spoken about this on your show before, but I think everyone kind of knows that they should be posting to social media more often.
Yeah.
And, you know, you hit the end of the week and you haven't done it, and you think, I'll do it next week. And then the idea of like creating content in your mind is like hours. I need to put some hours aside. I know I've got this one good clip, but like to get it into portrait, you know, into TikTok format, etc., it really takes time. So I'm trying to streamline this as much as possible. I mean, it's like you've done all the hard work already in the stream. How can we take all the good bits, get it out there, build the audience, rinse and repeat, and allow you to kind of focus on the stream itself? Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been talking about it as well, because we've had quite a few conversations back and forth as it relates to how to best manage things like your clips and what as streamers we'd like to see come off it. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing for a streamer is ensuring that the clip looks good. Because these days, everybody is trying to make their clips stand out, and it's very difficult to do. Like, it's very difficult. I look at some of the clips on, say, Hover, or even just on TikTok or Reels, and one thing I note is that they always have really like bouncy captions. They always have like really like cool transitional effects and all that kind of stuff, but they don't just have a lot of the basic stuff, you know what I mean? Like being able to push a button and transition it from being in landscape to portrait, and then, you know, you've just straight up got that straight away. It is just such an interesting feature and such a useful feature. And I've been using the thing myself as well. Like, probably nowhere near as much as I should, but I've been using That Was Pro myself just to give it a bit of a test run there to see how I found it. And I actually used the video that I was kind of showing before off a little bit on the right hand side here. I actually have been using, like, I took the format because I was happy with where the positioning was, and I took the raw file after converting it into the That Was profile and downloaded it, and then I put that into another quick app on the PC, and then I put it straight through to TikTok. But you don't need to do that. That's more so for me as someone who really goes stupid crazy when it comes to making sure that my edits look good, and, you know, adding like stupid laugh tracks and like dumb stuff to it. But for someone whose goal is to maybe highlight like a kill cam, or someone's goal is to highlight like short moments within their own stream that they really found funny, like, this is the perfect thing. They always tell us that content on your TikTok and your Reels and your Shorts, it should be every day. Like 2 to 3 times a day is the current sort of rate at which TikTok is recommended to post that for you to grow. So how are you supposed to do 2 to 3 edited videos like I would do and actually have that make sense, like, you know, in the greatest scheme of things, and you'd have any time to do literally anything else? It's very difficult. It's not feasible to do that unless you are making TikTok your only job, in which case, you know, you probably have a better handle on it anyway. So as it relates to a content creator like myself, who really only has time to stream and then maybe edit for YouTube and then maybe crop something for a TikTok once or twice or 3 times a week, this adds so many more potential clips, because I can just take moments from my streams that I think are funny, and I can just go, bang, all right, here it is, make it portrait, and then bang, straight into shorts or straight into TikTok, wherever it is, push the captions button on TikTok, and I'm done. And that way it takes out a lot of the stress that's involved in sitting there and editing all the extra stuff in there too. And plus having like a clips repository and like a catalog for where you can go back and you can always pull them again. Like for me, for example, the reason why the whole thing is dynamic for me is because I can then take a formatted file and I can whack that into other things that I like to use, that are outside of it. So that's a feature that works for me exclusively or particularly, and I'm sure there are other content creators who would feel the same way. But for people who aren't doing that and want a less like stupidly over the top sort of edit, this is perfect for them too. So it does cover a wide range as far as what you can do and what is beneficial for who, so it's not just good for new creators, it's not just good for creators with experience, it kind of covers both. So that's what I really like about it personally. So what are your thoughts there, Lukey? Seen it for the first time?
Yeah, no, so I was purposely stayed away from, I had a brief sort of skim over the website, but I purposely tried to stay away from it so that I could get the words straight out of your mouth when we come around to doing the interview, basically, so I could have a look at it for the first time. There's probably 3 things that kind of piqued my interest there that really stood out to me. Is one, the fact that you could just press a button and do a quick little crop and turn it into a video that's formatted for something like a TikTok, and that is amazing. I use I've got like a 3 or 4 step process. I do a lot of my stuff on my phone, even when I stream. When I used to stream, I used to do a lot of stuff on my phone, like basically all of my editing, because I was never in front of a PC until I went to go stream again, because of work and family life and that sort of thing. I'd pinch 5 minutes here and half an hour here whenever I could to try and make clips. But the fact that it seems like a lot of the things that I would do on maybe 2 or 3 different apps is available with really, really quick a process time in the one place is amazing. To be able to repurpose it and put it out. The second thing that I really love is analytics. So the fact that you can draw from platforms that you're posting to and see how these things are going within the actual app in the one place is amazing too. Because you think about it now as a content creator, you might put a video up on YouTube or a short up on YouTube, or put something up on Facebook or TikTok, wherever you might be. But to be able to just go to the That Was Pro website and be able to have all the analytics for all the places that you posted that little video in one spot is amazing, without having to go and open up your different websites or different apps for all the different places and have it all in one spot. It's really cool. So that's all, and all of this is just saving people time, like you say. So and for people that don't create TikToks, how easy would it be to just, because you might make a little YouTube clip that's a minute long for your shorts or Facebook, but there's just so many other platforms out there that you should be using, but you just don't feel like you got the time to do it. But if you've already made a video and all you've got to do is flip it really quickly within the app and post it, like there would be no excuses not to post everything that you do to TikTok. And it's like you don't even need to really, you got to title it or whatever, but there's nothing stopping you from just doing that and having it over on the side that you weren't doing before. And every place that you're easily able to post to is an opportunity to grow on that platform. So to have it that easy, to have that easy function on the website, I think it's really cool. And the third thing that really piqued my interest is right back at the start of what you're talking about, when we're talking about yourself in the streaming industry. Is something that really that I really caught on to, was like, you're interested in the streaming industry, such a growing industry that it is within the gaming industry. And all of us sort of think of like, oh yeah, I really want to stream one day. And you've like come at it from a completely different direction. You're like, what can I provide streamers? I don't even have to stream. It's just just that thought process of like providing something else was really just a different take too. So I think that was really, really cool. So that's just 3 points so far about talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I honestly, I don't think I could do the streaming thing. Like I did jump on and just have a go, and I think one person came into chat and said something, and like, you know, I had to focus on what I was doing. Like, and then like by the time I like addressed what they'd said, you know, they'd left, and I was like,
Yeah, it
yeah,
was too
so
late.
I just can't. I don't know how people, or how all of you, I guess, just able to split your attention, and I mean that's only part of it. Obviously, there's this big component of just being entertaining in general. So yeah, I take my hat off to you guys for what you're achieving for sure.
Yeah.
Modest too. I'm trying to take my hat off to this man, and he's just spun it straight back on us.
But it's true. Like streaming, as we've said hundreds of times on Streamaholics, is it's not for everyone, and being able to assess that and understand that it's a really good virtue. Like it's a strength,
Yeah.
rather than not, because so many people will hold on to streaming and refuse to let it go. Like, even though they're not doing a very good job of it, like, you know, they will just continue to push and push and push, and they'll get burnt out. They'll end up hating the whole thing, which so many people do. Like, so many people get to a point where they've been streaming for quite a long while, and at the end of the day, they don't even know why they push go live anymore. They don't even know why they get into the content at all. So being able to have a conversation with someone who knows the why of what they've done, and, you know, being able to say, well, okay, this hasn't worked for me, but I will still want to be in the world of streaming. So this is how I will contribute to it. I think that's really, really cool. And obviously, because it helps people like myself, it helps creators get the clips out there. Like, there are so many people that I know who are hilarious. They are funny. They everything they do is good. The camera quality is great. They play engaging, fun games with people. But then no one's there, and it sucks. But just no one's there. And the reason why no one's there, who knows? You know, there are so many different variables to it. There's one thing they haven't done right, or whatever the case may be. But this could mean the difference between those people continuing to have no one there, or it could be the start of them getting other people to come through. And that's, to me, that's very important, because I've noticed that since I've been able to post more regularly on TikTok and in Reels and things like that, like, my viewership has changed. And the next major step for me and my team is to transition into the full-time YouTube side of things as well, and to sort of transition into a more of a part-time Twitch streaming deal. It will take time to do that, obviously, because Twitch is my main source of income. But ideally, having multiple platforms with multiple content is the only way to do it. So you're offering a service that allows people to actually really get out there and showcase what they can do. So I think that in itself is worth it. Plus, you know, it's not like it's, you know, you have got an option that is not a paid option, correct, with it as well? Like, you've got like a option that is, like, you've got a few different tiers in the way that it's presented. You have like a certain amount of clips that you can get. Isn't that right, I think?
Yeah, the pricing is definitely, you know, just one of those things that I had to kind of get this feature out there. Like, can I have a button that charges money? Yeah, currently it's to be honest, it's like overly generous, and that's like one of the things I need to work on. So at the moment, you get 6 clips per week for free.
Yeah.
And then if you pay $10 a month, you get 100 clips per month.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as I said, there's things for me to work on there. There's features that will be on the free plan, and there's features that you'll have to pay for. But at the end of the day, what I'm hoping is that I'm providing value. That's you know, and I just want to say as well, like what you were talking about with people kind of trying to be a streamer and pushing themselves, and they're like, why are they even pushing the go live button?
Yeah.
There is just so many parallels with what I'm trying to do, and like trying to start a website or a web app with trying to start a stream. So I mean, I go through the same roller coaster of what's the point in even building this. The audience building, the marketing is it's different, but it's the same kettle of fish, you know,
Yeah.
like trying to get the name out there, getting on shows like this,
Yep.
trying to get that positive feedback, and just trying to get users. So it was only in the last 3 months or so that I started getting customers and people actually paying for it, and that was just incredible. Like,
Yeah.
that was like the high, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm sure, well, hopefully, you know, a year or two down the track, it'll be almost laughable that like getting just 1 or 2 customers in the beginning was so exciting. And I'm sure as a streamer, you would have gone through exactly the same thing with getting your first follower and getting your first sub. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, and look, there are definite parallels when it comes to that. Absolutely, I think that having it be for the free version, I think having it be like, you know, at that around that 6 mark is really good, because, like I've said, for success on those platforms, you do have to aim to do it a few times a day. But with that in mind, you know, you could do one highlight or from your stream. You could do another video from wherever, the fridge, you know. Like, you know, it doesn't have to just be related only to gaming, because at the end of the day, these programs like Twitch, TikTok, the Reels, Hover, you don't get anywhere just posting the random clips, you know, the random like sitting there and look at my dome shots, look at my head shot, you know, like, gaming content doesn't do what it used to do, especially not on the short form media anymore. Like, there are obvious exceptions. There are exceptions to it. But these days, you will find that a lot more people are interested in the funny or the interactive or the interesting short form clips. So, yeah, there's not much room at the moment in my estimation for those kind of older style, you know, like CS:GO, like short clips of good like quad kills and things like that. But there still is a need for them. So, you know, when it comes to your posting, you do one of those a day for most of the week, and then you start to chuck other things in there as well, and then that you will grow. So, yeah, I think that having that free tier of it being so it is. There's a lot, you know, like it is gratuitous in the fact that you get like a lot out of it at that free level. But I think that if you're serious about content creation, it's almost like you need to have the other version, because it's not, you're only going to get so far with the free version, because if you want to keep promoting your clips and things like that, then you need to kind of change up. But that being said, as a free tool, it's super diverse as well. So, yeah, we really wanted to get you on to have a chat about it for that reason.
I think 6 a week's a really good number too, because I think if you wanted to try the product out, and so you're basically doing almost 1 a day, that's a really good thing to do, you know, for a month or whatever you have in mind to try out as a content creator. And you should be able to, hopefully in that time, depending, it all comes down to the creators' quality of their entertainment anyway. We always talk about that, but this just provides them a tool. But 6 a week, it was 6 a week, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
The free version, yeah. So that's like your 1 a day, basically, Monday through Saturday, clip each day. You should start to see some of those smaller platforms that you're not using at least start to grow. And then that's when you go, oh, well, this is working. I can see the growth there, but I want to put more out there. So I think 6 is a really, really good number for people who want to dip their toes in.
Yeah.
On these sort of platforms.
Yeah. I mean, look, it is like a bit of an awkward topic, obviously. I think we should address that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of something that we would usually talk about, not necessarily something we need to be asking you about.
But at the same time, it's important too, you know what I mean? Because it's stuff that people want to know, you know? It is. At the end of the day, you don't want to be getting around to questions just because they might be a little bit, you know, a little bit of an awkward conversation. I think that it's important to talk about this stuff. And because this is not just a podcast for your everyday person, this is a podcast for other streamers. You know, this is a podcast for people who are in industry, who are doing what we do. So you want to be able to provide the best sort of information that we can. And yeah, I think that's important to kind of discuss this stuff, even if it is a little bit, you know, a little bit awkward to talk about, because I think that it makes you more real, more approachable with what you're doing as well. So I think it's a good idea for these guys, because these guys as well, knowing what what they can expect, the people who are watching at the moment, the people who will be like, like listening in the future, things like that. Like, I think that it's important to kind of have that knowledge there, because like I said, it's not your everyday viewer who's watching this. It's your streamer. It's your person who's aiming to make this a job, a career, if it's a hobby, whatever it might be. They still want that exposure. Nobody wants to be playing a video game to no viewers. Nobody wants to be playing a video game to nobody there at all, or to have their video clips have 30 views. People want to be able to go in there and have that dopamine hit of having hundreds of people watching or hundreds of views on the video, and getting to the point where they can have YouTube monetization and all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think that's probably the reason why it is important for us to talk about it, rather than to kind of skim over it as well. So
yeah, for sure.
I've got some questions too, to get off the awkward topics if you want to. With the editing side of things, if I was to upload a clip, could I just upload a raw video that I've got? Doesn't have to be a clip from Twitch. You can just upload a video.
Yeah, so there is the Twitch integration to pull it in from Twitch.
Yep.
But there's also the button says local clip, so that's something
upload a file.
From your computer, from your phone.
And then once I do that, what sort of editing is in the app at the moment?
So the editing is definitely pretty bare bones right now.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that it's not on the roadmap for the immediate future. So for now, you can trim the start and the end of your clip to make it shorter, and you can switch over to like portrait mode and draw a rectangle on your face cam, which will then position your face cam at the top of the clip. Well, there's multiple positions to choose from for where you want your face cam to be. It's probably a bit hard to describe in audio, but either it's like kind of floating in the middle of, at the top in the middle, or down the bottom in the middle, or it will take up the whole, the whole like, or it like goes wide over the top or wide over the bottom.
Yep.
And then also with your watermark, so you can connect your Twitch account, you can connect your YouTube account, and the watermark will be generated based off your like profile picture and username, and then you can choose like to have what corner you want to have that in. And then there's the catalog side of things, obviously, but that's not quite editing. So the next feature I'm working on for the editor is to chop out a portion of the middle. I'm not sure what like the technical term for that is, if it's just cut, but yeah, so you've got some clip and there's a boring section in the middle, to take that out. Following on from that will be that same kind of idea, but you'll be able to zoom through that section of the clip at like 3 times speed. So it kind of gives you that context of what's happening in the game, but allows you to zoom over the boring bits. And then there's some stuff which I think is quite interesting from, just going down this path of what Shippy was talking about earlier, of like really adding that like pop and allowing you to stand out. So you might have seen like on a TikTok style video, there'll be like a floating camera, and then as they're kind of saying something, the camera kind of like zooms in a bit and gets bigger and bigger, or like gets smaller. Same thing with like if your face cam's down in the corner for like a landscape kind of rectangle video, that can like zoom in and like zoom in, or like take up the full screen if you've got some kind of funny reaction that you've done to some scene. And the idea here is like these things can be achieved with your like DaVinci Resolve or Adobe Premiere or anything like that. But because this is really streamlined for the exact type of content, like I know my customers are streamers, I know the content that you want to create. This makes it that much quicker. Like the UI, it's not like adding another layer and then chopping your video back in and like, stretching it out so it's full screen on your face cam. It's like you click the button, because like I know what a face cam is, like if that makes sense. Yeah,
that sounds really cool. and some really cool features on the horizon too. So that's I'll be definitely trying it out too. And so at the moment you've got Twitch integration. Is that it at this stage and at the beginning stages of the app?
Yeah, there's YouTube integration for pulling in your profile picture and username, but not for pulling in clips from YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where Facebook gaming's at these days. It seemed like earlier in the year people were thinking that maybe it was going to take off, and so I was wondering whether to put a bit of a focus on integrating that in. But now, I feel like the general sentiment is that Facebook's dropped the ball a bit. I know people are unhappy with Twitch, but I don't know if you guys have any. Maybe we've already talked about this, but if you got any thoughts on like.
Over here, old mate is the biggest cheerleader when it comes to Facebook gaming.
I'm the Facebook / YouTube cheerleader, I guess you could call me, and I'm the anywhere but Twitch. That's kind of the way I sort of seem to be, and people think that I'm a Twitch hater. I'm just like, if you're small or new, there's like your better chances elsewhere, just given the age of the other platforms.
Yeah.
And like with the thing that you're trying to fix in discoverability as well. But I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'd go on another rant right now about the reason why a product like yours is so cool is because Twitch doesn't have discoverability and other platforms do. And there's 2 other platforms that are growing and they're smaller. Yeah, that's kind of the basics of the why I'm the cheerleader for other platforms. But
yeah, that actually reminds me. One really good point is because I know I'm not the only platform out there trying to do this kind of thing. So something like Metal.tv allows you to post to Twitter. But what Metal has is similar to Hover in that they've got a feed of clips. And so when they allow you to post to Twitter, what they do is they post a link back to Metal. So you actually watch the content on Metal. And then the idea is that, well, now you're on Metal, you're going to start looking at the Metal content. Yeah. So my platform is not trying to achieve that. I'm not trying to get eyeballs away from Twitter. And so once I built the feature, when you post from that was Pro to Twitter, it'll just post the video. And the reason that's important is because these platforms like Twitter, they have an algorithm for what kind of content they're surfacing. And if you're posting a link that's taking people away from the platform, I mean, I don't think this is official, but that's not in Twitter's best interest to allow people to go away from the platform. Whereas if you're posting your videos directly with the watermark to advertise your Twitch channel to build your audience that way, it's much more likely to work.
Yeah, I like it. A man who understands algorithms. Love it.
Yeah. Absolutely, and it's an important thing as well. Is that being able to determine what the best course of action is, for everybody involved is super important, because it's not just obviously when a company has themselves as the first point, the most important part, then the people who miss out are the creators, and that's the part that sucks. So having your perspective being more across, what's good for us as opposed to what's good for, Hover or something along those lines, like that to me is very, very important. So.
Yeah, fantastic. I agree. So I guess the main thing that I'd like to kind of convey to anyone that's hearing about this for the first time is that, if you've got any questions about the platform, I really want to come across as approachable as possible. One feature that I pushed out today was in the catalog being able to sort the labels by color. It was something a user suggested and something I hadn't really thought of. And once I saw it, I was like, once I built it, I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense. So this is how I want to build the product. I want to build it with streamers so that it really suits your needs exactly. So if you make an account, obviously use that Goa code to get a month free, and and just send me an email or chat to me on Discord. I'm in the Goa Discord as well, and I guess together we can make this a fantastic platform to help you grow.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do think so. It looks like we have some people asking some questions as well, so I think that would be a good time for us to actually have a look at that too. So the size does ask, how does the tool compare to other offerings like CrossClip or Streamladder? I'm sure you've been across those, having done your research into how things work, and we've had discussions about them as well in the past as well. So would you like to kind of field that one?
Yeah, for sure. So those products are very focused on outputting a TikTok style clip, which it's up to the user whether or not you feel that the way I've designed my platform, my interface, whether that's better or worse than theirs. I can't really argue that mine is better. I just came about it from a slightly different angle. There's plenty of ways to skin a cat. But the focus for my platform is really the clip catalog.
Yep.
Which, I must be wrong, but I just haven't seen this feature elsewhere. And when I talk to streamers, this is not my original kind of thesis on why I built it, but this is one of the areas that people get most excited about, is being able to build up their catalog and look over it, as opposed to some kind of folder and file name structure in Windows. Yeah, so I think the clip catalog feature is something that none of the competitors have. As I said, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert there, and I try not to look at what they're doing too much, because I don't want to be led away from my vision. But yeah, I guess.
Well, I haven't seen it with those. I haven't, especially not with Streamladder. I haven't seen that particular function anywhere else. But when it comes to this, like I was just showing there while we were talking, is that you can define specific things too. So you can go into, just show all my just chatting, or the time I got a massive raid, let's go show the raids. It's really nice. Cool. You can separate things. So you go to the clip itself, you pick the game that you were playing at the time, you add labels like funny. We go, all right, done. Let's add that one, shall we? Bang. Yeah, funny, done. Okay, now we close that. Now there. So if I go, all right, let's go to just chattings, it shows it up. If I go to only just chattings, it shows that. Or if funny, just that one. Like this one hasn't got any assignments yet, so we just say just chatting, and we go only just chatting here. So we add that one. So now if I go to there, it shows that. If funny,
that is really cool.
It's just good definable differences between the two. So we get rid of that. Yeah, and I'm a big fan of that too. So
it seems to be, for whatever reason, something that most streamers have in common is this idea of just this checkbox of everything's in order. So I don't know if that's a common across all streamers, but it certainly seems to be the case.
One of the reasons why it's beneficial, in my opinion, is because for example, I get a bunch of
Did everybody else just lose Shippy?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was muting himself because he's just absolutely gone on a massive
swearing.
Rant. Yeah.
He doesn't usually mute to swear.
Cool. Yeah, so I guess I can talk a bit more about the labeling system.
Yeah.
So you can see, that's all good. So yeah, I guess the labeling, I've had, recently I've been checking out some of the users in the database and some of the labels they've been making. So one of the streamers is a Rainbow Six player. So he's decided that, all his green labels are maps in the game, all his blue labels are characters in the game. Then he's got yellow for some kind of gameplay. And this guy, he's a pretty big streamer, and what he makes is YouTube content for how to play this character. So obviously a tool like this is he can just select the ones that he wants and and easily build up that long form content and just build it off the back of his stream that he's doing during the day.
Yeah, it makes things easier for streamers, which is that's the I guess the main thing that we've heard about your product tonight.
Yeah.
And the size just look at it in chat. Sorry, the size asked you. We've already answered this question. I think keeping things hosted on your site or for viewing, you're actually downloading a video from your site to the platform that you posted on. So they're viewing the video on that platform, not on thatwas.pro.
Yeah,
that's correct. So that is one of the future features that I've been thinking about building. Is this a similar kind of concept to Media Kit? Yeah. So let's say you selected 5 clips or something that you think portray what you do best. And this could be just a very simple, well-designed page that highlights these 5 clips so that, you could, if you're reaching out to a sponsor or something like that, you can say, this is what I do. And these are the clips that kind of highlight that the best. So in that case, I would be hosting content for people to watch. But it's not a clip aggregation kind of service like Hover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice.
You can hear me again though, right?
Yep.
That's right.
Got your back, mate.
You could have just lied for ages and be like, oh man, I wonder when Shippy's coming back. You could have done that easily. My chat would have done that, to be fair. But what I was saying is that my chat will quite often come through and be like, oh, Shippy did a funny thing. I saw his bum for a second. Let's clip the thing. And then they won't name it at all. And it'll just be, whatever I name the stream, or some stupid name I name the stream will become the title of the clip. But with this, if I upload those in, I can put, as one of the tags, I can just put, like stupid bum video. And then that's a label that I can then have. And,
for all of your stupid bum videos.
Yeah, I watched that compilation.
Exactly right. Yeah, and that's the thing. So there is a big appeal to just to jump back on here and just kind of give that. Yeah. So you can't rename the clips when you use the clip feature. The only way that you can name the clips is if you actually push the clip button on Twitch. But for example, my stream has a exclamation point clip feature. So when you do that, it doesn't allow you to name it. Unless I guess the clip command could probably have exclamation point clip and then you name it afterwards. That might work. But from just a standard point, you can't do it. And a lot of people use that. A lot of people use exclamation point clip and then link it to a streamer bot or a fire bot or whatever the case may be, because they find it to be more easier. It's more incentive for the chat if all they have to do is type the word clip and then it goes in, rather than clicking the button and then the button takes you away to somewhere else. And it's a lot more intuitive, I think, to those people if they can do it that way around. And yeah, I think that is cool for all of us, but it's also really confusing when we go to find what clips were what. So I think by importing the clips into the website and then being able to give them their own categories and their own names and whatnot from there, their own labels from there, I think that creates a situation where you can catalog your own content. Now, with a quick question I have about that, how big is the catalog? Does it have a limit?
No, there's no limit.
Okay.
That's something I'm worried about. But that'd be a nice problem to have, to be honest.
Yeah. Because if I'm doing that and I'm just uploading every clip that I make, or sooner or later, sometimes these people can clip 30 clips in a stream easily. In fact, 5 of them are probably the same clip, but at least, because something funny will happen and then it'll be exclamation point clip, exclamation point clip, exclamation point clip running down my chat because a bunch of people are doing it. So if I was to import everything, that might be something to have a thought about later. The fact that there'll be hundreds of clips in here. So
yeah, I would just say there's no plans to make that automated, I guess. There is a plan for, if you push the button on your Stream Deck, to automate into this inbox section. But that inbox section would be different from the clip catalog. It would just, without going into too many of the technical details, it's like keeping the clips on the cloud, on my server, ready for you to edit. And then the rendering process would be very fast.
Yeah.
That's kind of the appeal there.
Yeah.
But it's not about your fans kind of clogging up the clip catalog, because like the well organized catalog is the value here. So I don't want to jeopardize that.
Yeah, I guess the question is as it relates to storage then, because if I create clips from 3 years ago, even though I wasn't streaming, but if I create clips from 3 years ago, how long before they are knocked off the back end, you know? Because that's the problem with Twitch. The problem that everyone has with Twitch is that your VODs have an expiry. So no matter what you do, you're partnered. It's like a 90-day expiry or something like that. And if you're an affiliate, I think it's a 60-day expiry. So those videos, unless you save them to YouTube, they're gone forever. There's so much of my footage that simply is just gone. So my question is that if it relates to the clip catalog, like, is there any plans to sort of say, okay, maybe like a scrolling like news feed or something that will say, hey, on this date, these clips will become dirt. Like, you know, they'll be removed from the cloud or whatever. Because, like, obviously, if you get some rather large people in here and who are getting lots and lots of clips and they're uploading a lot of clips because they use TikTok a lot or they use Hover a lot or whatever the case may be, then I would think that they would kind of want to know, because this is a repository, you know, they're like to keep your stuff as well, because I feel like they might want to know when they can, when they will expire and stuff like that. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, I understand the value of the clips, so I'm certainly not just gonna like impose a deadline and things just appear. But like full transparency, I just haven't needed to consider that yet.
Yep.
You know, there's things like there's a whole bunch of things that I could worry about, and then like for example, you can't edit out the middle of your clip. Yeah. So like you know, I have to prioritize things.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it not to say I haven't thought about it. It's kind of like, yeah, it just comes back to what I said before. It would be like a really good problem to have. Like at the moment, I want to know that I'm creating value for users.
Yeah.
That's really the question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that you are with everything you're doing. We've had a lot of conversations behind the scenes about this and how it works and what I think is good about it and whatnot, because Lukey hasn't been really, like, he said he wanted to come in with fresh eyes, but I've been doing a lot of that back end stuff here, just trying to see how it goes. So yeah, I really do see the value in it, and I think that the questions that are being asked in the chat, they're all questions that I've not asked you specifically, but I've either had in my head or they've been similar things to what I've asked as well, which means that they are questions that are on the mind of the content creators. So
yeah, for sure. And that's kind of why I want to build it alongside passionate users.
Yeah, no, for sure. What do you think there, Lukey?
No, I haven't got any more questions. I think it's a great tool. I'm just trying to think of more questions as I'm going. I'm sort of reading. Chat's got a lot of questions at the moment, but
yeah. When it comes to those people, I think that, like the chat specifically, I think that they're kind of on the same wavelength that everyone is here at this point right now, where there is a benefit to it, and it does seem very, very interesting, but they just have like a few questions here and there about it, you know, like previously in the chat there, Big Bear was talking about how it would pretty much change everything about what they're doing, and how streaming's too much fucking work anyway, and how they struggle to create clips, so they'll be using it for sure, and things like that, you know. So for me, that's all positive, good news for you as a software developer as well. So yeah.
I think just one feature I haven't touched on yet. This has taken a bit of a backseat in the roadmap because I think there's more important things to work on in the meantime, but it'd be a shame not to mention it because it was actually one of the original ideas for why I started building it, and it's the idea of a montage creator. So within the app, you know, you're searching for your stupid bum videos, and then you sort by label, then select them all, and then you can just build a montage. You can choose the type of transition you want, you know, like 250 millisecond fade in. And the cool thing that I'm planning with that is that it will integrate Twitter comments. So the idea is, this is a clip that I posted to Twitter. Obviously, I've got that data in the website. And then someone comments and they're like, that was sick. Great to see, love mum, or something like that. And then as it gets towards the end of that clip in the montage, it will pop up with like what would look like a Twitter notification, and it would show like the person's username, etc. And it would look like they've just commented on the clip. So the idea there is, number one, it encourages people to comment on Twitter because they've got a chance to be featured in your video. Number two, they're going to watch the YouTube video, and it's trying to create a bit of a flywheel for the streamers to really build up that community engagement and to bring them along for the journey.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
So I guess the question then is there anything else that you would like to talk about as far as the features go, the app goes? If you'd like to give us a pitch, give us a sales pitch, tell the people who are watching now sort of, your best foot forward in like a maybe like a minute kind of a conversation here, just to kind of really like just to how you would present it to someone for the first time, because these people are people who are seeing it for the first time. They don't have hands on it yet. So I guess what I want to get from you here is that if you could give me your best foot forward with the app, what would it be?
Yeah, you've really put me on the spot here.
I mean,
I have to talk about it for hours, but
yeah. I mean, but I think that's cool because it's like, all right, so what makes you passionate about it? Like what drives you to sort of sit there and go, yeah, this is what I like about it. Because for me, for example, I know that I can put my stream and I can say, this is what I value about what I do as a creator. This is what I offer as a creator, and this is why you should be there watching what I do. So for me, the question is sort of the same thing, is that to tell these people who are watching now or listening or whatever the case may be, why should they go set this up? Why should they get involved in it? Like, what's the thing? The one thing, or not even the one thing, but what's the thing that makes this better than everything? Because I want that to be what people do. I want that to be what people see. I want people to go like, fuck yeah, let's go. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So I guess, if you want to grow as a streamer, everyone knows this, but not enough people are doing it. You need to be getting your content out onto all the platforms. I mean, there's an asterisk, maybe not all the platforms for sure, but if it's easy to get it out there, really the constraint you're going to be facing is time.
Yeah.
You've got to stream, you've got to maybe have a day job and look after your family, etc. And then you're probably putting content and the gym like on the wayside. So this is all about trying to just make it as easy as possible to put out content. But the biggest caveat here is like what I'm actually most passionate about is putting out quality content. So I can't control what's on your video, but I can control putting your face cam in a nice position. And you don't have to think about like, what does a nice position mean? Like, is it centered? Is there a nice bit of padding around the edge? Does it have my Twitch logo? Is my Twitch logo up to date, or did I just change my Twitch logo last week? Like all that stuff, just let the code handle that for you. And all you need to focus on is your stream, and use this tool at the end of the day. Use this tool on your phone, so you don't have to be chained to your high-powered gaming rig to put your content out there. Yep. And you can spend your Xbox or whatever it is the case. And you can be, I mean, if you're with your family, you should be spending quality time, but you could be doing this on your phone away from your computer. So the purpose of this is to really accelerate your streaming career. That's the goal. And yeah, just I spend a lot of time when I design the product to make sure that things look nice and to make sure the output is nice. So that's what I'm really passionate about. This, if I can throw a little bit of shade on my competition, I can tell when someone's used Streamladder. Don't use that. Like, come on, you're better than that.
Yeah.
Cool
circle.
Better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So just have a go with it. I'm fully aware that there's some bugs in the system. It is in open beta right now, but this is your opportunity to help me shape it, to fix those bugs that are actually stopping you right now, and prioritize those features that are really going to help you out, because hopefully, this is going to be a really big product in the future, and but I still want to always be there to listen to my users.
Mm-hmm. Oh, excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good point too. Like, if people can get hold of you on, can we shout you out your username too? We will do that at the end, I guess. Put that in chat so that people can get hold of you on Twitter as well. If I've got like one last message to people in chat, and we've got a few sales reps here in chat for you too. They're doing a great job with some great pictures there for your advertising. But I'd say get in there, try it out, and open the dialogue with Matt and let him know how you feel about the product and what you like and don't like about the product, or what can be improved.
Yep.
And as he says, help him shape the product, because it looks really great. The idea behind it is amazing, and you just sort of brought this up just then, but I also do really dig the UI of the product too. It really looks really nice and clean, so to actually use itself. So not only is it easy to use, it's also easy on the eyes. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, like I've been watching it grow from sort of when we first had our conversation on it all the way through, and I really think that it has a lot of potential moving forward, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to get you on as well, because we wanted to be able to, really show the people that we have within the community here, a new tool, a new way to do it. Because you're right, when it comes to Streamladder and other apps as well, you can tell when they're done with those apps. And you know what? It'd be cool for me to be able to say, I could tell that was done with That Was Pro. I can tell because that looks clean. So yeah, exactly right, exactly right. So yeah. We've got the... Aha! You can't post it there, Size. Post on the link tree. I was just trying to get your links in the chat there for everyone. But yes, I'll grab that as well, and I'll pop that in there now. But yeah, we've been talking about it for a fair bit now, and I did just want to kind of get the product out there, because like all I've done is I've just had these conversations with you, like we're having now, like people are asking in the chat. We've had these conversations, and I think that even in those conversations alone, we've been able to make the app a little bit better. So, all you can do is help.
Actually, to be honest, it's surprising how many of your, obviously you can like go on some rants and stuff, but there's been some gold come out of it that's really helped me shape the product. So the time we've spent together has been really helpful. I appreciate that.
No, and I'm just happy that you're here. I appreciate you coming in and doing this here. We have had 3 weeks of shit, nothing to talk about. This week, the internet explodes. There's Twitch news. There's a bunch of other news. We had 3 weeks of nothing, and this week we're like, all right, let's get Matt on. We'll talk about That Was Pro, and then G Fuel explodes, and it's like we've had nothing but stuff going on since this point. So. I don't know if you would like to sort of hang around with us while we go through that, or if you'd like to reconvene sort of afterwards. But I kind of feel like, without going over and repeating what we've said this whole time again, I kind of feel like we've covered a lot. I do want to make sure that you guys know as well. Go to thatwas.pro, get yourself a month for free using code GOA. It's all below here. I wrote that about 10 seconds before we hit go live, so it looks like garbage. But if you do that, you'll get yourself your first month for free if you do want to try out the premium features for it. So yeah, I definitely recommend going and having a look at the app itself. Go have a look at the website. Even if you just go look at it from the free side of things, have a look, test it out, see how you like it, and then go from there. So yeah, I don't know if you want to stick around or if you're going to head out. We'll talk afterwards, but it's entirely up to you at this point.
Yeah, I'd love to stick around.
Cool.
Full disclosure, I not aware of what's going on with GPU,
Neither am I, actually.
Shipper's
got some news. It's
oh
new to
my
me
god!
as well.
Oh my god! So massive news, massive news. So we are. You guys know what G Fuel is, alternative to your energy drinks. It's real delicious. Everyone loves it. Everyone I know drinks it, and it's kind of the standard bearer when it comes to your energy drinks within the gaming circle, the gaming community. There are a bunch of alternatives, like Gamer Sups and Juiced and all of that kind of stuff. But when it comes to the big dog, it's been G Fuel. And with people like Asmongold, with people like Moist Critical, PewDiePie, FaZe Clan up until recently, all being G Fuel people, it's been massive for content creators, and they have always really looked after their content creators and their partners until today. So essentially there was a big meeting, a team-wide meeting within G Fuel, where the CEO of G Fuel, his name is Cliff, essentially he threw the hard arse slur at his partner team, his partner managers. He called them a bunch of the hard arse slur, and then told them that they were all lazy motherfuckers, and then fired them. All of them. Like all of the partner managers. So, for no reason at all. Obviously, they've got internal stuff going on when it comes to obviously maybe they're getting too many partners on, or maybe sales or whatever it might be, aren't quite up to where it needs to be.
They lost FaZe.
But
was it FaZe that they lost?
Yeah, they lost FaZe. FaZe moved over to Ghost, and that's huge. So, but yeah, essentially there's been no reason provided outside of that's what they were called. So obviously they do have even if it is a business side of things, a business perspective, for there to be a big call out in the team amongst everybody, and then not just to say, okay, this is what's happening, but rather to say everybody now has no job. Everyone now is fired, and the partners, the Twitch partners, they only have one road of access. One road. And that road, because if you go to G Fuel on the internet anywhere, can you find an email? No. Can you find a point of contact? No, there isn't. The only way to get in contact with G Fuel is through your partner manager, right? So now they're all gone. So you have hundreds of partners now through G Fuel who don't know what's going on. And the real caveat of the whole situation is that he hosted a G Fuel live stream on Twitch, and partners were going in there being all like, oh, hey man, I'm a partnered streamer with you guys. Can you let me know what's going on? And then they got banned from the channel live. So these partnered streamers who are getting paid by G Fuel every month just want to know what's happening, just want to understand what's going on, and they don't understand because they're streamers and they've been fired. They're banned from it. Sorry, they've been banned, not fired. They've been banned from the chat. There's no way to contact them now unless you tweet them. And then what are you going to do? You say, oh, how you going, guys? I'm a partnered streamer, but I don't know what the fuck is going on. Send tweet. No, of course not, because then you'll be banned there as well. So it really is this situation now where you've got hundreds upon hundreds of partnered streamers who are getting paid a monthly wage with G Fuel to do code G Fuel for 30% off or whatever it might be. Code Warship, never going to happen. But you're going through that whole process, and they've been getting the sales, they've been helping the product grow, all of that kind of stuff, and now there's nothing. Now there's no point of contact. There's nothing at all. And sure, on the back end there are things like KPIs. On the back end there are sales goals they probably haven't met. That comes down to the partner managers obviously being responsible to say, hey guys, if you're getting free product every month, and if we're paying you every month, then I expect you should be selling X amount of tubs a month or whatever it is. And maybe that's not been happening, but to fire all of them and then provide no transparency. The only transparency that has been put, or the only comment, I believe, that has gone through so far on the internet is a reply to someone who says, you don't know what's happening in the background. Why is everyone quitting? And it was just one word. It just said truth. And that was literally it. So there's been nothing else apart from the boss at all. No comment. Anytime anyone brought it up in the live stream, he just banned them from the channel. There's been no interaction. All he did, when anyone brought it up, what he did was he just started another giveaway. Gave away another tub and banned the person on the sly. Because obviously when you get like hundreds of chats coming through, stuff like that will just get lost in the mix straight away. Use exclamation point giveaway to enter the giveaway. But because there's no point of contact. There simply isn't. You can't contact, you can't inbox G Fuel. You can't You can't send them a thing on Instagram. You can't send them a thing on Twitter because it's public, because there's no direct contact link. You can't send them an email. The only way that these people who are paid by G Fuel to be their partners is through their partner managers, right? Like, so how are they supposed to do it? How are they supposed to correspond with partner managers who have all been fired? And now we've seen this massive blow up where pretty much you can scroll Twitter and you just scroll forever for people saying, today's my last day at G Fuel. I want to thank such and such for being an amazing partner manager, but with the way they've been treated, I am resigning my partnership with G Fuel. And it is just constant. Like, every post is that. And yeah, it's wild. It's a big shake-up, and people are saying it is Artesian Builds 2.0. Like people are talking about, were they in a conference call with Artisan? And, you know, I've said it twice differently now on purpose.
But nothing's happened outwardly though that we know about though with G Fuel, is it? It's just
it's all internal. It's all internal.
Like the place is on fire, and we just don't know about it yet.
Yeah. But obviously there's reasons, and hopefully those reasons come out. But for now, it's just, well, they've fired everyone, and they're banning their partners on their socials, and that's it. And that's literally it. So
something's about to go down, really, with that, but we just haven't heard about it yet. It sounds
I mean, they lost FaZe, and when they lost FaZe to Ghost, that was obviously a big part, because that's a huge company, like hundreds of streamers attached to it, kind of thing, you know, and they make a lot of freaking money, like FaZe do. Like, they are a big ass company. I think they sold. We were talking about it on stream a little while. They sold the company for some billions range of money. When they went to public trading for FaZe. I have to find that now.
Yeah. So does this CEO have like a history of?
Yes. Yeah. Apparently, when it was suggested that G Fuel had lead in it, he called the female reporter a stupid and on the socials for it. So. Apparently he has a bit of a habit of blowing up, like completely blowing up. So, and like, I've been going through it. Oh yeah, it was $1 billion, by the way, FaZe went public for. So it's not a small company, like in any way. So yeah, looking at the situation, you think about that, and they're saying that he kind of has a bit of a temper anyway, you know. But what does it mean? What does it mean for G Fuel? What does it mean for creators? What does it mean for everyone who's like, oh, I would love to be a partnered streamer. I'd love to be a partnered streamer. Personally, I would have loved to have been a partnered streamer with G Fuel, but I'm not going to be no scab now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be like, hey guys, just to let you know, hey, I know all these people left, but hey, you want some ship on your lip, you just let me know, and I will sell G Fuel for you all day long. I'm not going to do that, but you know, before all of this, hell yeah, give me all of it in my mouth, because I actually really like their product as well. But how can you do that now? How can you see, as a streamer who's watching this all go literally on fire, watching it happen, like people are like burning their G Fuel, like it's kind of a big deal, because, you know, it's like Elgato, G Fuel, those are the stables, you know, when it comes to Elgato, G Fuel, NordVPN. Those are the stables when it comes to Unraid Shadow Legends. Like, when it comes to your streamer, they're your streamer Thanos glove, you know what I mean? Like they're the Infinity Stones, really. And with G Fuel going, that's like going the way it's going at the moment, that's a huge one to miss out on. Like, that's something will have to take its place, or it will have to get better. You know what I mean? Like it'll have to get back to where it is. So yeah, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, you know, these kind of companies, I always wonder, like, what's really going on, like, financially? Like, are they just like pumped up full of venture capital initially, and their plan is to sponsor streaming? Like, obviously they just give away so much stuff. Are there enough people buying it also, or were they just like financially screwed and they've taken it out on the partner managers when they were like flawed to begin with?
G Fuel's revenue in 2021 to 2022 ranges between $50 and $100 million, calculated on gross merchandise value.
What period was that? Sorry,
21 to 22.
I wonder how much of that came from Phase.
This financial year, between $50 and $100 million. So
I wonder if the money that they made through having Phase a part of their organization was helping prop up and give people jobs, and they've just been hit so badly by their Phase jumping ship.
But that's honestly my thought perspective. Yeah, that is my thought process as well, because you think about it like
making cuts.
They have like the sour phase berry, they have the phase rug chug. There was like another one that was based off of like those Swedish fish that was also a phase one. They've got a good 10-ish phase exclusive flavors that were all through G Fuel itself. And now I went onto the website earlier because I was trying to figure out what was happening, and all of those are in like sale categories now. And I assume they were since the buy over. But yeah, they're dropping $20 American per tub on that now to get rid of them. So there's probably a fairly big hole in the in their revenue based on the fact that the phase people are now going to be going over to Ghost. So yeah, I think that there's going to be, because already Ghost are working with them on their own flavors and all that kind of stuff too. So yeah, I think that there probably was a pretty big hole in the industry, or in G Fuel's revenue particularly. But still, that's this financial year. So to see next financial year will be interesting, to see if there's a big drop. And look, there probably is, because all of a sudden, if you don't have the phase guys talking about it every day, then you don't have the hundreds and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of the phase kids who would be watching because they want to be in phase one day, have like, tub upon tub upon tub in their house because they're not buying it anymore. So you've lost like the biggest contributor, I would say. So of course he's probably pissed off, but I would say at the same time, there's probably a better way to deal with it than to fire your entire partner managed team and then not tell any of the partners what's going on. And I think that's the real issue that's caused. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see if he makes some sort of a statement in the near future about it, because maybe there's just a lot of pissed off people that maybe wasn't communicated to them correctly, but there could be a legitimate reason, like I say, cost cutting. They've had to lay off a whole bunch of people because the revenue's just not there anymore, and sort of scale it back a little bit on their end. So that, and it's hard because they're really involved in an industry like streaming, where people can go like live to his stream and start commenting and like spamming and turning it into a bigger deal than, say, if it was like, if Coca-Cola lays off a bunch of people and doesn't communicate that to them, how do we talk to the Coke guy about it? We don't, because he's not on a Twitch stream, like being who he is. It's a bit different.
Yeah,
it shows you sort of how, like, although big the gaming and streaming community is to us and growing in that, how sort of still small and niche, and it's a little community over here really in the world that's kind of sectioned off from the rest and operates in a different way.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like that's the thing. If it was a smaller company, then the blowback would be smaller too, wouldn't it? Like if it wasn't like as big and as front facing as G Fuel is, like we probably wouldn't be in this position. They wouldn't be in this position where people are talking about it being like a death crawl, like like being like the end of it and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, like you can literally just scroll down. You look up G Fuel on Twitter, and everything is about how someone got banned from chat, or I am done with G Fuel, or G Fuel being a shitty company. Who would have thought? Like it's just every comment you go down. It's one thing after the other. Partners
you're talking about,
partners who are quitting because they haven't heard a word about it, or people who are quitting because someone else got fired, and like one of their friends who got fired, or their partner manager got fired, and now they don't know what's going on, so they're quitting to show support for someone who's just lost their job, etc. But yeah, it is just one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. And nobody, like, people are just saying, hey, please just tell us what's going on. Please just speak out. If you tell us what's happening, there probably will be less blowback. Just let us know what's happening. but no one's doing that. Like, he's not come out and said a single word.
When did the news drop? Like, how recent?
We are talking
like 24 hours or
as early as, I'm going to go to the first tweet up here. 15 hours ago was the first time someone got banned from a day after. Okay, so it's about 35 hours ago. Well, like 24-hour play.
Okay.
39 hours ago. Math is bad. But 39 hours ago. So, yeah, because essentially a day ago was when there was restructuring in the company, and then today was when people were going into the G Fuel chat and being like, what's going on with this restructuring, and being banned for not knowing what to talk about, not knowing what's going on or anything like that at all. So, yeah, it's literally been within the last 48 hours, I would say, would be the best way to say it. So, but really, if you're a massive company like that, you're making $100 million a year, you probably should be talking to the people about it afterwards. So,
and is the Twitter stuff that you're seeing, is that basically coming off the backlash from the stream? Or is that, do you think that would have happened anyway?
It's both.
I just feel like maybe he just shouldn't have streamed when something big like that's happened now. Just wait until you've made a public comment about it, or the news of, or you made some sort of comment about it first.
In the small time I've been with G Fuel, this person was amazing. You can see how hard they work. They're passionate and happy. Please, someone take care of them. I'll be leaving G Fuel partnership ASAP. Thank you for everything, person. And like, going through that list, that's what they are all like, you know, like that's what they're all like. Every comment is either about the Twitch stream, or they're about the fact that people have just been fired and the partners associated with those partner managers are now quitting because their partner manager was fired. So, yeah, those are the two sort of things.
I just would wonder how much money those people that are quitting like immediately are making from their G Fuel sales or their G Fuel partnership, because I don't know, let's say I was making, I'll just throw it out there, let's just say I was making, I don't know, $500 a month. Like I'm a decent sized streamer, I'm making $500 a month from my G Fuel partnership.
My understanding is they have a bottom floor of about $1,000, just to let you know.
Okay, so $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
For partners. All right, so let's say I'm on the bottom floor, $1,000 a month, and I'm not getting that money from anywhere else probably yet. Like, there's no guarantee I'll just go to quit, end my partnership, and make that $1,000 elsewhere.
Yeah.
And the only experience I've had with the company, like you say, is their partner manager was amazing.
Yeah.
But they've been laid off, and in the back end something's happened there. I would probably hold on to my own public comments of like, that's it, I'm leaving G Fuel now. Because you've made it public then. Like, now you can't back out because you're going to look like a bit of an idiot. I'd be holding on to that until I find out. You know, if in a week or two's time, I've been trying to get to the bottom of it and I still haven't heard something, then you'd start making some comments. But I would just assume that, well, they are making money. You just said that the minimum is $1,000. So
yeah, my understanding is that you can make between for small to median streamers, you can make between sort of 1 to 5K a month off of that. I know people like Keemstar, I think, are up in the 20s, like, again, like, you know, because when he was doing stuff with them. I know Felix or PewDiePie probably, he'd get maybe 50K a month, I would assume, like, just because of who he is, you know, like, I would assume he'd be getting a real good wicket, maybe 25 or something like that. So, and then there are a few of those streamers that are that big as well that would be getting similar money. So to think about that, these people, I haven't seen very much commenting, but I've seen a lot of the people who are probably getting $1,000 a month commenting. And for me, like, losing $1,000 a month would be shit. But I would also want to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, am I even getting that money now? Because I don't know. Because my partner manager is gone and I can't call them or talk to them. So how am I supposed to know, even if I'm getting paid this month? You know? Yeah. Am I supposed to still push G Fuel? Am I supposed to still talk about it?
Are you going to post on Twitter that said I'm leaving?
No, not necessarily. But I'd want to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I might go into the fucking Twitch stream and ask them what's going on and get banned. Because I don't know what's going on, because, like, you know, because you don't, if there's no way, like, how frustrating is it as a creator? And I'm sure there are people in the chat who know now, like, trying to contact anybody in a big company is bullshit. Like, because the DMs are closed on Twitter. They've usually got a website which is for support only, like a support email, which you can send a ticket to, but then you get like an automated response back. If you need to talk to a brand about something, it doesn't happen. You're waiting ages. All you have to do is shoot your shot. Especially with the Twitter side of things, you have to be like, hey, what's going on, Elgato? Please give me the big gobbies. Like, because there's no other way to talk to them about it. Like, there's no other way to get in and actually have that conversation. So for these people to only have their partner manager as their point of contact and then they're gone, I can see the confusion in that. I can see the stress in that. But I wouldn't necessarily be going on to socials and being all like, oh, you know who's real shit? These people, because I can't get in contact with them either. So, I mean, I've done it with like Telstra because, it's Telstra. But I wouldn't, then Telstra not paying me $1,000 a month either. I'm paying them. So, it's a little bit of a different story in that case. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is here. I think maybe things might go back to business as usual, but at the same time, looking at how many people are pissed off here about this and how many people have quit, it might be for the best, it might be for the worst. You know what I mean? Like, it might be, okay, well, all these sort of smaller to medium level creators are pissed off because they're big mad, and now they can get new ones in and they can focus on new people. And that might be okay, But, like, how many verified Twitter accounts I'm seeing, not just, Twitch or anything like that, but, like, verified accounts who are quitting as well. It's...
Okay.
Yeah.
I've just found a little bit more context here. I just thought I'd look it up. So I've got news here on Reddit and then also from someone here on Twitter. Just because okay, it's just loading up. Today, G Fuel fired 7 of their partner talent managers without warning. But the employees, it says in this article here or this post that the employees were told it was part of the restructuring of the company. So that to me says that they were told something, and it was only 7 of them. So I wonder how many partner managers they have.
But then it says after that, although it comes a day after a higher up in the company is alleged using a derogatory slur whilst in a team-wide call. So the people who stood up, quit. like, yeah, it seems to be like everybody who's lost their job, like all the messages are exactly the same. Like they're not supposed to talk about it, Like if you look at like those underneath that comment there, because you're reading the same thing I am, read those things. Like, Jake Lucky's thing. The thing from Deathly, actively seeking new opportunities, DMs open. From Anthony Graves, actively seeking work, DMs appreciated. Cosmic Kate, actively seeking work, any assistance is appreciated. Like, all of these people, it's like they've just come in, they've just thrown, like, the default answer to here. And to me, it's not even about, like, necessarily the partners. Yeah, that sucks. But... for the partner managers, but for the thing for me that sucks to look at is the content creators and the ones who just don't know what's going on now. Like, that when this says part of restructuring, does that mean that the partners have been told? Does that mean the partners have been told, hey, you guys, you're not going to have anyone to report to tomorrow? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so it's hard to tell. Like, is this a restructuring that was already going to be in the works because of financials, or is this literally like he used a derogatory slur, and then so a bunch of them have said, like, stood up against that, and then they've gone, well, this bit's turned into, who knows what happened after that. Would have turned into a big blue between them all about verbally, and he's just decided to fire him.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a mutual, like, well, you can't fire me, I quit.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Looking at the thing as well, one other thing to note as well is that it is fuck all people when you look at the grand scheme of things. There's 7 people to get fired, but one thing that Jake says as well is that all 7 managers were fired. So I am under the impression that is all partner managers, like all members of the partner management team. I don't know anybody. I haven't seen anyone who is partnered. Like, I've seen a bunch of partner managers leave leave G Fuel this month. Like a bunch of them, like Senpai Nick, a bunch of other ones who I actively follow who are saying, I'm done with G Fuel, we're moving on to something different. And that was all within the last month. And then this drops today, yesterday, and yeah, I don't know, it feels like it's been a big reset and no one knows what's going on. So, even if the partner managers knew what was going on, how are they going to tell everyone that it's not going to happen? You know, what's going to happen tomorrow? The issue for me isn't necessarily the firings, although that sucks willies, but the issue is that now, what does that mean for all of these other creators who now have nothing, like no contact, no knowledge, don't even know what's happening tomorrow? You know what I mean? Like,
well, it sounds like maybe this was like, because if this did come from like a fight, like an internal fight about him using a slur, and then they've stood up and it's turned into a fight and they've just got fired on the spot.
Yeah.
So he hasn't had, so obviously not enough time to replace partner managers yet.
Yeah.
I would only less than 48 hours old. Like those partners, just sit tight, you know. If you don't hear from anyone within the next week, and I don't know why I'd be telling them. I just, it blows my mind that this things like this just blow my mind. And it feels like everyone just bandwagon jumps on. I like to know more information about stuff first, like,
before you yell at the internet.
Well, you can try and take it back, but you know, to jump on a bandwagon and you don't know where that wagon's heading yet.
Yeah.
Like, you can't undo that because then your comments are now tied to that wagon.
Yeah.
If you don't know what, like, you know. We are only at the moment hearing from the partner managers that have been fired.
Yeah, and the partners.
And it does sound like they've stood up potentially just because the timing is right with the slur in a meeting.
Yeah, it was like the next day.
Yeah, so we've just got that timing to go off that maybe they stood up against them because one of them mentions maybe stop calling your employees derogatory terms and lazy motherfuckers. Yeah. So, you know, maybe he doesn't handle himself very good, this guy that runs the G Fuel company, and does speak down to some people. Yeah. You get that at a lot of companies. If you don't like it, probably go to another company anyway. So it's probably a good move that they've got fired/quit.
Yeah.
But for the other people outside of that, though, to be attaching themselves to one side without hearing two sides, like, I mean, have we not just gone through like a month's worth of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp to know that maybe there's other shit going on and maybe we shouldn't just jump to any conclusions yet until we find out some more shit? Yeah. You know, you don't have to have an opinion and about something. Like, that's what the social media is just a bit like that. Like, you don't have to have an opinion about something, and it doesn't have to be so visceral. Like, but some people just, I don't know, that's their brand, I guess.
I mean, I just feel like
sometimes
everyone's saying something now, and that to me is a big red flag as well, because it's not just like a handful of partners that are having a go. Like I said, you can scroll Twitter and it doesn't stop, and there are different people, like, constantly. Apparently there's something going on with the stream, by the way. Maybe it's a weather thing. You're looking very not good graphically. It buffered really hard then. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, mine goes in and out, I think, with the feed that we use.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. But yeah, I guess that's like, we've spoke about this pretty much on like repeat for a minute or so. Is there anything else that you guys would like to add to it?
No, I agree with what Luke was saying. I'm kind of quite separate from social media in just my personal life, so I'm not really like part of that scene. But yeah, when I look at it from the outside looking in, I agree. Like, it's confusing. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, a lot of like bandwagon and it's like everyone agrees. That's right. We hate this person now. It's a strange thing.
Yeah, it's very strange. I can't understand it myself. But I don't even actually really have I really don't actually have an opinion about it myself. And sometimes it's just confusing to me why other people have an opinion about something, but so strongly without knowing anything really. Yeah. Anyway, just I guess.
Now there was, I think, one more thing that you wanted to cover as well there, Lukey, I believe.
I might just quickly jump in. I have to head off because I actually haven't had dinner or anything yet. So,
no, you're okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for hanging out. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Been good having you, Matt. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, we'll speak to you
later. Thanks,
on.
guys.
No worries. Thank you. Cool. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Oh, look at that. Not too bad. A little bit skew-if, but not too bad. But yeah, well, that was a good talk anyway with Matt as well. I think that was real good. So yeah, I think there was, like I said, one more thing that you wanted to speak about as well, right? I think.
Yeah, I think there was another topic we're going to cover, but I don't think we should enter that because we'll be here for another hour and a half. But
yep.
So if we're talking about this confession, right?
Yeah,
I mentioned at the start there would be a little bit of a confession on my part. So if anyone's been watching the show for the last, what has it been, like 2 months maybe since I've been back, month and a half, something like that.
Me yelling, I know that's what it's been.
Yeah, so my audio hasn't been very, very good, and I've been mentioning it every week. And I did the solo stream last week where I thought I'd got it sounding a little bit better, but it was just playing around with some EQ on the Go XLR, and I'm like, because I moved house for context in sort of end of the last year and moved into my new house in January. Then it took me a while to get my stream room built, and then I finally set up my stuff like a couple of months ago, and I plugged everything in, everything worked, everything was great, and started doing the streams again. And I didn't know Shippy, it's that I couldn't hear myself properly. I thought everything was still all plugged in, you can hear me, and Shippy kept on saying, "Oh, you're a bit low there, Luke," all the time. And I'm like, no, it's pretty high on my end, it's fine. And then I was like, oh, it does sound a little bit tinny. And then I'm watching some old Streamaholics streams back, like on the Goa YouTube channel, like over the last couple of weeks. I'm like, yeah, my voice does sound really shit. Like, and so I questioned Shippy in the Discord too. I was like, I'll have another look on my end, but are you sure, like, how's my audio coming through on your end? Is there, like, what does it go through? Like, I'm thinking, like, maybe Shippy's putting it through something on his end, you know, purposely trying to make me look really shit so that, you know, prop himself up, that sort of thing, you know, make himself stand out from myself on the stream. So I don't know, put the blame on him. And then the last week or so, I've like been playing around with my EQ and watching YouTube videos, and like, oh, maybe it's the audio cable. So I've ordered a couple of new audio cables and that sort of thing and plugged them in. And then I just had this thought a couple of days ago, and I thought, you know, the sound that my audio that's coming through on my mic, you know, it kind of sounds like I'm elsewhere in the room almost. Like, I don't know, it sounds like my voice is bouncing off walls or something before it hits the mic. And then I thought, nah, it couldn't be, but I'll double check anyway. My mic's definitely facing the right way, isn't it? Like, yeah, it definitely is. I was thinking about this at work. Yeah, it's definitely facing the right way. So come home from work that day all keen. I'm like, I just got to check this one last thing, but I think it might be the audio cable, but I'm just going to check anyway. And looked at my mic here because it's got the pop filter on the end of it, so I couldn't see the dot on the mic. And I don't know how this happened, but for the last 2 months, I've been talking to the back of my microphone, and I am sorry, guys, but I'm unworthy to be the host of Streamaholics and to give any of you any advice about streaming or content creation at all. So tonight will be my last night on the show.
Oh my god, having it backwards this whole time.
I couldn't believe it. I've been
like, what are you doing, man? What's wrong? Why? And people are sending messages and they're like, what's wrong with Lukey's? What are you doing wrong, Shippy? Are you doing something wrong with the audio? Like, have you got like, you know, like something on like some kind of like ducking or something on his audio? Why is it, what's going on? Why is it so fucked for? But nope. Turns out this dickhead just had it backwards. Like the whole time.
I've been doing this for like 4 years.
Right? Just like turned it around like this. And this probably still works. This is double-sided. But yeah, the whole time just having cool. Yeah, fantastic.
That's why I've been so low, because you've been listening to my voice literally bouncing off walls before it gets to you.
Yep. Well, man, his volume seems really low today. What is it? How can we fix it? And yeah, I tried everything. I tried like I put it through a different filter. I tried to like turn it up everywhere I could do it.
Alright.
Sheepers.
Couldn't fucking believe it, eh? Like when I realized that it had the dot on the wrong side, I'm like, oh my god, there's a dot on that side. I'm like, you're kidding me.
Absolutely.
After all of that was it. Anyway.
Yeah.
I know for a fact when I first set this up, it was facing the right way. But then when I first plugged in my Go XLR, I couldn't hear sound. So I started unplugging audio cables and playing around and plugging them back in again. And at that stage somewhere, I must have I took my mic off and just put it back on the wrong way.
Yeah. Oh, well, at least it's figured now. At least we've got it all, going the right way and facing the right way.
I do feel good in a sense that when I realized that was like it was last night, right? And I sat down here thinking, right, I'm going to fix this audio thing, but I'm just going to check this thing I thought about. And so last night, at least I wasn't up till 2 a.m. still trying to fix it. So at least last night when I sat down at whenever I first got to my PC, I was like, I figured it out straight away last night. So, but for a couple of months, so it's just been, I just couldn't work it out. And because I'm not a technical person and I'm not really great around all of this technical stuff.
Oh, shit. Lost me again. I bloody hell. Where is it?
Fast.
Oh, yeah. Now I've lost
Hello.
him. Yeah, I can hear you again. I lost you. Hello. Maybe my microphone was backwards. Who knows?
Got the stream on backwards at the moment.
Yeah. And it's all good. We're back. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, it's certainly it was an experience. But I'm glad that it's all fixed now. And we have been speaking. This is a longer one that we've done in a while. This is an hour and a half worth, or nearly 2 hours worth of stuff. So we probably should wrap her up there, I would say.
Yeah.
I wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who has been here today. This has been a really good stream. Really, really decent amount of homies in here having a chat with us, watching along. And it'll make for a good listen back, I think, for those who may have missed it as well. So I guess let's do the thing. Where can they find you there, Lukey, if they're looking to see more of Lukey Bangers?
Me, as I said, I'm going into a hole and never coming out again.
Yep, that's fair.
All right. Where can we find you, Chippy?
Oh, wait, I better show you while we're doing that because I pushed the wrong button before and it showed me. So, but yeah, no, you can find me anywhere that is at the Warship except for Twitter, which is _Warship because they still hate me. And you know what? That's fine. They're allowed to hate whoever they want, I guess. As long as they don't fire me and then call me names, I think I'll be okay. So, but yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching once again. What episode are we up to now? Do you know the numbers?
I believe it's 31, if I got that correctly tonight.
Episode 31. Thank you very much for joining us for episode 31, Cheers, guys. Please do stick around for the raid. I am the Warship, and for Lukey Bangers, he's a Streamaholic, I'm a Streamaholic, and now all of you guys, you're Streamaholics too. Have a great night. Thank you very much.
Hey, legend. Thanks for watching the show. If you want to make sure that you're up to date with all of the Game on Oz content here on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.